Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Gray, and I'm just plain living here.
Hi, John.
Hi, Peggy B.
I'm Peggy Burton. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be alive today.
Aren't we all?
Yes, we are.
Aren't we all? We've
Yeah.
had a little rain.
A little.
A
Are you
little
kidding?
rain,
I
yeah.
have spent the last 2 weeks shoveling frogs out of my pool. Every time it rains, we grow frogs.
Were they backstroking
They
or
were
doing
backstroking.
the butterfly?
Some of
They
them
were
were-
getting ready for the Olympics. No,
That-
this is the Winter Olympics, or this is the Summer Olympics.
Whatever.
They're swimming.
Yeah. They're swimming, yeah. But anyway, no.
You can have the Peggy Burton's Olympics right in your swimming pool. A frog fest.
Frog Fest. That's a good idea. Maybe I need
is.
to let them grow.
That's a good line, Frog Fest. We need to have
Yeah.
one of those. Instead of a turtle race, we could have a Frog Fest.
But they don't make it very big. And the rain, it's been so heavy that I'm draining the pool every other day. It's not draining at all, but
yeah, getting water out.
getting water out. So it's not costing me a
Well,
lot of water.
But you can't. Why don't just let it rain until it overflows and let it run out on the ground?
Oh, no.
Why not?
It would just ruin everything.
It would ruin everything.
Yeah. My water bill's nice, though, this
I
year.
bet.
No problem with that. And
Water
anyway,
bill- Everything's gone country.
it has. Well, maybe not everything. But
Well, in our
a lot
life it
of-
has.
A lot of stuff has gone country. And several things going on at the Civic Center. Right now there's a fabulous play,
Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid, and I think it's on another weekend.
Oh no. We should know that.
We
shouldn't
should know that, but whatever it is, it's a wonderful show, and if it's still on, you need to
Yes.
get a ticket.
Yes, and I saw on Facebook the other day. Of course, Bob and Sula Moya go to church with us, and their granddaughter Gracie had one of the lead roles in the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Up in they live up around Hendersonville. No,
Doesn't matter.
the Hermitage. They live in that area up there. So it was at a playhouse up there, and congratulations for her.
Sure.
I'm sure she did a wonderful job. That's a wonderful group of folks.
It is, and we're growing some really nice actresses and actors and performers right here in Tullahoma.
Yes, we are.
We're putting out a lot.
Yes, we are.
And next week, Thursday night, is our ice cream social. We're going to recognize World War II.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
And yes, we're excited about it. I hope the rain stops,
It will.
just for me.
Just for you. Just for you. And I think we have a very talented guitar player in
We
here
do.
today.
We have,
It's going to be on the show.
not only is he a webmaster, but he is a great guitar player and
He's a webmaster.
well, I think he is. He is for us.
That's not Spider-Man, is it?
Could be. Could be.
Is
Anyway,
that Spider-Man over there? I didn't know Spider-Man played guitar.
oh, John.
Things are good, though. Things are good. We're at Tullahoma High School is, we're getting ready to start school back, and a lot of folks are on vacation now, getting that last little
Yeah.
little
It's-
trip in.
It's kind of nice that we're going to go back to normal.
The vintage tie with the beach scene, and let's see, there it is. There you go, right there. Umbrellas.
Where'd you find that one?
In an old store somewhere, probably for $1. I love old tie,
Old
vintage
ties.
ties.
And it's neat that you found a handkerchief to match it.
That is part of one of my favorite shirts.
Oh, really?
It's a Madras shirt that I've had for years and years that finally the cloth just
Finally
wore out.
bit the dirt.
And so I thought, well, I'll just take it and cut it up and make a pocket square out of it because I like the colors in it.
You're a fashionista.
Now, I don't know about that. I'm a cheapanista. I do know about that. I'm with there's a lady called Miss Cheap, I think, that
yeah, she came to
tells you
Tullahoma one
tells you
time.
how to do things cheaply, and I repurpose stuff.
I do that.
A lot of stuff, and I love parts and pieces. Because I was in the construction industry, I love parts and pieces of construction. And, I have bricks that I liked, really liked,
And so
that I was bricking a house with or
bring 'em home
something.
with you and-
So I save one or two, and I have them sitting around. Pieces of trim. There's a lot of the stuff that we've used in this studio that were part of construction sites that I had that I brought in here and used.
How long did you
Used
stay in
for
the
some-
construction business?
Basically my whole adult career. I did other things at the same time.
Like,
But,
like writing songs?
Well, like managing the bar at the Legion and traveling for Eddie Bauer, and well, of course that was in construction. Remodeling Starbucks stores, that was in construction.
You were a busy
Building
man.
condos in Brentwood, and I built restaurants in East St. Louis, and I traveled a lot. A lot of people don't realize I traveled a whole lot.
Yeah.
For a while.
That's good. You
About
still love to,
15
do you
years.
still love to travel?
Not like I did. I just don't feel as comfortable with the speed of things anymore. It's like going to Nashville now. I used to drive through Nashville almost with blindfolded, but I guess it's my age, my eyesight. You know, my reflexes aren't as good as they once were. To be driving at 80 miles an hour with a car as close as you and I are
I know.
right here.
It's a
I just
different world.
I'm just get nervous
I mean, there
about
are
it.
places, if you don't drive that speed limit, I mean, the speed everybody else is driving, you'll
They're
get
driving
killed.
the speed limit 70, and they're driving 90 and 100.
Oh, that was in Germany 50 years ago on the
Yeah.
Autobahn. It was already that way.
Yeah, so.
I would just hide under
But
the
I still like to get
seat
on the
when we were
road and go
driving.
see pretty things, and I'm a back roads kind of guy. I don't get on the interstate. I can go to Nashville just as quickly on 41A,
41A.
and drive up through there.
That's a
and,
pretty nice, I mean, Sheville's, the road is almost finished to Sheville.
Right, it's
At
close.
least the cutoff is.
It's close,
it's
yeah,
already
really
finished.
is.
It's
So,
wonderful.
It's good, and we find little. We went yesterday. We had a friend had a doctor's appointment, and we stopped at the Yellow Porch, and had lunch at the Yellow Porch, which is one of our people on our Tennessee Travelers show that we're getting ready to start back up here pretty soon.
I had a visitor this week. My grandson drove from Virginia
Just to see
just
you.
to see me, and we just
How special was
rode
that?
around and ate out and had a good time.
He's a good kid, isn't he?
Well, yeah,
He's kind of.
he's a unique
Is he a
world.
creative?
Oh, very, very creative. One of the first things he wanted to do was get pictures of all the artwork on the buildings around Tullahoma.
Uh-huh.
And then we drove to Uncle Nearest's place.
Right.
There's a beautiful piece of artwork out front there. So that was kind of what he
Well, good.
was into. And airplanes. We got pictures of airplanes and all kind of stuff.
Wonderful.
Anyway, he has a lot to say.
Well, good.
He's a lot to say. I loved it. It was fun. I mean,
I bet he likes being with you too. You're probably a pretty interesting, of all the grandmas out there, I'd say you're probably one of the pretty interesting ones that are roaming around.
I appreciate that, but I don't know how interesting I
You don't
am.
know how much he likes about that, huh?
He seems to love me. I love him.
Of course he
and,
loves you. Who doesn't love you?
He's the only grandchild I have, and I'm very lucky to have one. So
Yes, you are.
I am, yeah.
So all this other stuff going on. Football's getting ready to happen. South Jackson goes country. The swing.
The
Ice cream social.
That's the
Is there going to
20
be there's going to be dancing there, isn't there?
Yes, it's the 22nd, a week from Thursday. Well, if you're watching this Tuesday, it's a week from Thursday. But anyway, it's the 22nd. And yes, there will be dancing. We have Tim Taylor to instruct a dance class at 6:30, and he's fabulous.
And he was on the show.
He was
about
on the show.
2-3 weeks
He's
ago.
won awards all over the eastern part of the United States. And we'll have a lot of interesting things from World War
Well, that's
II.
great.
And we salute the troops because we appreciate what they've done.
Yes, we do. Yes, we
my
do.
nose is itching.
And, I hope everybody had a safe and sound 4th of July, and have all your fingers and toes. People blow their fingers off, with fireworks and
Yeah.
stuff. You have to be real careful.
I've had this on my mind. We lost a wonderful friend yesterday, Grant Patterson.
Yeah, I read about that.
And
yeah.
it's hard for me to even talk about it, but
Yeah.
I just want to say that.
Very involved in the community, very involved in South Jackson Playhouse, entertainment venues. Grant and Janet have
Done a lot.
done a
It
lot
was,
for this community. He's been sick a long time too, hasn't he? Pretty long time.
Seriously, about 2 years.
Yeah.
And you know, he's walking free now, and that's
Yeah,
good.
and bless her, because I'm sure she gave him all the care he could ever want.
She really did.
They were
She
sort of
really
like
did.
they were sort of like peas and carrots.
Well-
They fit together pretty good.
And that's what you do. You know,
Yeah.
that's what you do when you need to do it. And
Yeah,
she was
it
always
is.
there, and so was his kids. So my condolences
Yeah.
to the Patterson family. And it's just hard to let people go.
Right, it is.
Even though
it
when
sure
it's
is.
maybe better, it's still hard.
Of course it is.
Anyway,
With that said,
you got a
I'm
card
going to
for me?
remind you that my new book of Loku is ready. This is the 3rd edition. It has 366 in it.
366.
366 of them, and they're everything from the sublime to the ridiculous. I'll just look at one right here. I did that last. Here's one. Captures of men stroking their chin whiskers are assumed to be contemplating exceptionally wise thoughts. You know? Wrong. Their beards itch.
How did that get so popular? Don't you love these new things where their hair comes all the way around? They just get a little bit of their hair and then they come all the way around.
I call it a butt beard. You know, I mean,
it's weird.
it's strange. It's strange.
But everybody's trying to think of something new to do.
This is a good one right here. Rich man, poor man, beggar man, thief, doctor, lawyer, Indian chief, all bear the seeds to spawn a creative.
You're always
There's
thinking.
no telling where the creatives will come from, huh? And days come, years go, strides are taken, steps are lost. A boy becomes a man gets slow, sure went fast, filled with joy. Sometimes I miss the little boy.
That's sweet.
So
That's really sweet.
he's still in here. I guarantee you that. He might grow old, but he'll never grow up. We'll be back in a minute.
I am tremendously blessed to be living at Parkview and very happy to be part of a loving and caring community.
Best thing you can say is this really a great place to live? That's all there is to it, no doubt about that.
It's your home. You just do what you would if you were at your private home. You know, we love it. It's great.
It's just like having a whole neighborhood around you, and it's fun.
It's just a great place to live.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
Hello, I'm Ray Norris, Mayor of Tullahoma. I want to thank the citizens of Tullahoma who've been following CDC guidelines for helping prevent the spread of COVID-19. You've been wearing your mask, you've been getting your vaccinations, and I'll tell you, it's working. Today, our positivity rate is less than 5%. That's the lowest it's been since the earliest days of our pandemic. So, now I want to urge each of you to continue to follow these guidelines, and together, let's get this pandemic behind us and get our country back to the old normal where we need to be. Thank you.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and I'm glad to have with me today Laurel Stone and Veronica Wiseman, and they are here to promote Isaiah 117 House. And Laurel, give our audience a little bit of history about that and what you're doing.
Well, first of all, I'd like to tell you, I brought you some lemons today.
We love lemons.
Okay.
I love, you know what, that's really, I love lemon pie.
Okay.
I love key lime pie. I like lemons. I like lemon cookies. I really have, my whole life I've loved almost a half a lemon in a glass of tea. So that is a perfect gift for me.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. And it goes to show that in the South, if you cut lemons and you have a little water and a little sugar probably, you can make lemonade.
Make lemonade, and we're having lemonade stand day for Isaiah 117 House for Coffee, Franklin, and Grundy County. And you asked me to tell a little bit about Isaiah 117 House. So it is a transitional home for children awaiting foster care. I can get into more detail on that in a minute, but we want to tell you about the lemonade stands that we're having in Tullahoma to raise money for this. And Veronica and the ladies and gentlemen at Citizens Tri-County Bank are going to have a lemonade stand on Saturday, and they'll be doing something on Friday and Saturday. So if you just want to tell them what y'all are doing.
Okay, so we at Citizens Tri-County Bank, 201 North Jackson Street location, we will have a bake sale Friday from 8 to 5.
Oh.
And then Saturday from 8 to 12 we'll have a lemonade stand, and all donations will go to Isaiah 117 House. And we also have a donation box in the lobby, and that is set up there all throughout the year, and we help them collect their monthly needs. And so we have great participation from our customers and from employees.
One thing I want to congratulate you about is the fact that you're a bank that's open on Saturday.
Yes, we are.
You know, the whole lot of the world works every day during the week.
Right.
And banks have a tendency to close at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, other than the drive-through. It's hard for a whole lot of people to do business because they can't get to the bank, and you have given them an option that used to be all the time.
Yeah.
Most banks were open always on Saturday, closed on Thursday, some of them, to let people bank on Saturday. So thank you for that.
Well, you're welcome. Citizens Tri-County Bank.
There you go. There you go.
And this Saturday you can get lemonade there.
You can have something cool to drink while you're getting served
right.
at the bank.
And I
Very
can't
good.
say enough about how much Citizens Tri-County Bank has done for Isaiah 117. They have sold cookbooks, Christmas decorations. They have our donation house there. They accept donations from customers that come in, and they're participating in things like this lemonade stand. So I just want to thank them for all that they've done.
And where are the other locations of Citizens Tri-County?
The local locations are
Yes.
closest to us. There is a branch in Deckard. There's a branch in Cowan. There are branches in McMinnville.
Okay.
And then up on the mountain, and
Yeah.
Dunlap is where our home office is.
So you're well spread out to serve people.
Yes.
I want you to tell our audience a little bit of your history and your work with these children that has gotten you involved with the Isaiah House.
Yes, so Isaiah House, when I first heard about it, I was like, wow, I love children. I do lots of things with children through Community Advisory Board and Child Care Resource and Referral and Imagination Library, and I'm probably forgetting something there.
But most of that's in Coffee County and this general area. I just want the people to know you've been involved for years in the care and well-being of these type of children that will be served by this Isaiah House.
Yes, and so Isaiah House, we are building a house. We're going to let you know when it's ready, but I know you have Susan Johnson, our local coordinator, on here giving updates periodically.
Yes.
And it's a wonderful place that children can stay until they go into that foster home. From the time they're taken into custody, they can come in and have a home-cooked meal. They can have a nice bed to sleep on, take a bubble bath, play some games with some volunteers. They'll have clean clothes and stuffed animals, everything that they need before they go into that home. And then also the foster parents are ready for that child to come into the home. And the caseworkers are able to do their job better because that child is being well cared for. And that's what our Lemonade Stand Day is all going towards.
And people don't understand, you said food. A lot of times, a lot of these children are starving. They're hungry.
And when they're taken into custody, I want to make sure we get our other lemonade stand locations in just a second. But when they're taken into custody, they might be eating some vending machine food, some food from a convenience store, some fast food in a cubicle in a DCS office. They won't have to do that anymore after Isaiah 117 House is established. If they want somebody to make them some Kraft macaroni and cheese in the house, they can do that. If they want pizza from Pizza Hut, we can do that. It'll be right there in that nice, loving home environment, and not in a cubicle, a courthouse, or even a jail is sometimes the case. That won't happen anymore for the children of Coffee, Franklin, and Grundy. They can have a home-cooked meal right there in a nice home for them. So
Lemonade Stand, where else?
Lemonade Stand, Tractor Supply Company. I will be at Tractor Supply 10:30 to 2:30 Saturday with lemonade, and you can go get your feed and seed at Tractor Supply and anything else you need, and I'll be out there with some lemonade. And then someone's doing a lemonade stand at Water's Edge Chocolates here in town. So that's the three that are in Tullahoma: Citizens Tri-County, Tractor Supply, and Water's Edge Chocolate. There will also be some in Franklin and Grundy County.
And if you're lucky, I might squeeze a lemon for you right here.
Okay.
Have a little lemonade. We might have lemonade down here at Channel 6.
I forgot to bring my knife. You might have one in your pocket.
We have knives, we have sugar, we have water.
Okay, that's all we need.
We're just proud to have people like the two of you that take the time out of your life, your career, and even make it part of your career to serve these young folks, to where when they're pulled out of a house, they don't end up sleeping in a corner on a hard tile floor, and like you say, eating whatever they can find. They have somewhere to go where they feel like they're loved, they're cared for, and they have the softness, the gentleness of a home facility and a home field. And that's what this is all about. So when you have any type of opportunity to throw a $20 bill at it, or a $50 bill, or a $100 bill, or write them a $2,000 check if you got plenty of money, it will be money well spent.
Yes, it will, for the life of a child.
There you go. We were all there. I'm still there. How old can you be and go to Isaiah House?
Well, first you have to be taken out of your parents' custody. And I think Fran is taking very good care of you. So I think you've been away you've flown the coop of your parents' house a long time ago.
Okay. Thanks, ladies, for being here. Thank you for the work you do. And keep on biking on Saturday.
Okay, we will. We will.
All right. We'll be back after these messages.
Clayton's has been Tullahoma's shoe store for over 120 years, and Florence Hall continues that tradition today. We're the only shoe store in town that starts with measuring your foot to make sure you get the perfect fit in a quality shoe. That includes narrow through wide widths for men, women, and children. Clayton Shoes, the family shoe store you'll love.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hello everyone, I'm John Rickman.
And I am Pat Welch, and John, we're here today for the 55th rendition.
55, traveling right along.
I mean, we are.
Songs from the 60s and 70s, 50s even, are the ones that I'm familiar with. And one that George Hamilton IV had out was called Abilene. I sit alone most every night and watch those trains pull out of sight. I wish that they would carry me back to Abilene, my Abilene. Abilene, Abilene, prettiest town I've ever seen. Women there don't treat you mean in Abilene, my Abilene. Crowded city, ain't nothing free, nothing in this town for me. I wish to the Lord I could be in Abilene, my Abilene. Of course, Abilene, Abilene, prettiest town I've ever seen. Women there don't treat you mean in Abilene, my Abilene.
A fine rendition, John.
Women in Tullahoma don't treat you mean either.
No.
Correct?
No. Not if you're as dashing as you and I. That's for sure. Well, we normally use your song as a segue to the body, and sometimes it's a stretch, and today will be a little
just doesn't always work.
Yeah, today will be a little bit of a stretch.
I did have two grandparents who lived at Texas.
All right.
One in Carlsbad, Texas, near San Angelo. He was a doctor and went out there to sanatorium to work, or sanitarium, whichever.
Sanatorium, I think.
Well, anyway, he was out there, and then my granddaddy went out with his daddy and brothers and sisters and they raised cotton out in Texas. So but all of them came back to Tennessee.
That'd been a hot chore.
Yes, it would.
But you know, there's a lot of horses in Texas. And today we're going to talk about a Confederate cavalryman that was close by. At one of our recent segments, when I was in East Tennessee, we went through a segment on a church in Eusebia area, which is East Tennessee, which is between Seymour and Maryville. And there was a cemetery there that the East Tennessee had a lot of Unionists in the and would have fought for the Union in the Civil War, and I found a tombstone of a gentleman that had served with the Union in their cavalry, and we said we would come back and try to balance it out. And while I was at the Builder Supply, we had a job past Flat Creek a little bit in Bedford County, and if you go down towards Lynchburg and turn right on the Flat Creek Highway, about a mile or two on the left is a really old, pretty cemetery that still has got some recent burials in it, but it's also got some really old Moore County people there. And I think the name of it is the Wiseman Cemetery. It's kind of below the grade of the highway and has a metal fence around it. It's really nice. And I had some extra time one day while I was calling on a customer. And so I thought, well,
it's funny how you always manage to have a little extra time.
A little extra time, yeah. Then some people at the office would also have wondered the same thing. but I did visit that cemetery on a run down there, and I don't know why, but I was kind of drawn to the front right section. And as soon as I got there, I noticed that there was a gentleman, Jesse Gordon Moore, from Moore County, who had fought in the Civil War as a cavalryman. And I couldn't find much on my own, so we enlisted a real historian back. This has been, probably 10 years ago maybe, Dr. Bradley.
He knows
and he went on a visit to the archives in Nashville. He came up with a whole lot of information on him. And there was a regiment from Tennessee, the 16th, that was formed in 1861, and most of that came from soldiers in Coffee, Bedford, and Lincoln. And at that time, in Confederate history, they enlisted for a period of a year. Well, in 1862, when the time was up, several of them stayed, but wanted to come in as cavalrymen. And this would have been the time that Jesse Gordon Moore would have volunteered and came with them. And most of those people came from near Flat Creek, where you again turn at the Flat Creek Highway.
Did they want to ride a horse instead of march?
I think it was a little bit safer because they were also making raids.
Okay.
You know, they weren't in the front lines. And I think riding the horse would have sure beaten walking barefoot, where some of them at the end of the war would have been relegated to. But in this little communication that Dr. Bradley sent me, he said the cavalry that they served in, most of these men served in the 4th Tennessee Cavalry, and it was commanded by Colonel James W. Starnes, a physician who was from near Franklin. And Colonel Starnes was killed on June 30th, 1863 in a skirmish which was fought between Tullahoma and Manchester as the Tullahoma campaign was coming to a close.
That's a marker out on the highway.
There's a marker at the Harkle Smith Nursery Road, and that's in the area that Starnes was killed. And Starnes served under Nathan Bedford Forrest. In December 1862, the 4th took part in a raid in West Tennessee led by Nathan Bedford Forrest. The next spring it fought Thompson Stations, Brentwood, in the Tullahoma campaign, at Chickamauga in September of 63, and on a raid into Middle Tennessee in October of 63. In 1864, the unit took part in the Atlanta campaign and was in combat for 100 consecutive days. In September of that year, the unit again raided into Middle Tennessee, and that was this time that Jesse Gordon Moore was captured. On the raid in 1864, he was captured near Sparta and was sent to Camp Morton in Indiana and remained there to the end of the war in 1865. And his, Phil, if you'll put up his, the top part is his headstone, and the bottom part is on the ground at his feet, and gives a little bit more about his service in the Confederate Army, and it's marked at the bottom he's a prisoner of war. And I'm assuming that once they were freed, and I looked up Camp Morton too, John, the conditions there of all the Civil War, both North and South, wasn't ideal. And when they were released in '65, I doubt they gave them a train ticket back home.
Well, he was born in 1845, and if in 1861 the war began, he was only 16 years old.
Yeah, that's why he was 17 from what I figure in 62 when he would have enlisted. So he would have, some 60 from 17 years old to about 21 when he got a chance to come home. And I would assume he walked back home, and that would have been a tough journey, I would think, from Indiana on foot to Moore County. But he lived to 76 years old, so he's a hardy old guy, and I really thought it was really interesting. But one thing happened that was really peculiar about that. I talked to Dr. Bradley again several months later, and he said he'd been contacted about 3 months after that I had talked to him about Jesse Gordon Moore, and there was some descendants of a Moore who had a ancestor that would have been in the Civil War that was buried about a couple miles up that highway closer to Flat Creek. And they said that his last name was Moore and that he had a twin. And so they asked Dr. Bradley, knowing that he was a good local historian, do you have any idea of who that twin might be or where he was? And he said, well, if you'd asked me 4 months ago, I couldn't tell you. He said, but I can now. And they were looking for Jesse Gordon Moore. That was the gentleman's twin. He had a twin that also fought, and I wish I'd had a chance to get a hold of Dr. Bradley before we came today to see if he had a little bit more information about him, but that was almost kind of eerie.
That was amazing
to find that out.
And Starnes, Pearl Columbus Haynes, my great-great-grandfather, fought under Starnes. And when Starnes was killed, McLemore took over. McLemore. Starnes McLemore was the unit name after the...
John, you're as good as Dr. Bradley.
That's a little something I picked up along the way. My grandmother told me a whole lot of stuff.
And we're going to have a segment to bait all of our fans. John's ancestor, Columbus Haynes, was shot with a mini ball that started in one of his nostrils.
And we hit him right here.
Yeah, we won't go through the gruesome details until that day, but we'll have that hanging out there. And John, that pretty well brings us to a close on segment 55 of the Conversations of John and Pat.
Maybe they'll let us come back again, Pat.
If management allows, there's more stories to be told. Thank y'all.
Talking history about this and that. It's Conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me at Life Care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
The individuals with dementia, those with Parkinson's, those that have maybe mobility issues, need caregivers. Well, those caregivers are 24 hours a day at home, and they never get a rest. And if they have to go to work, they're kind of out of luck. So that's why Trinity came into existence 25 years ago, to allow the caregivers to have a safe center where they could put their loved ones, know they would be well cared for, stimulated, fed good nutritious meals, have activities to their level, and then the caregiver can stop by and pick them up and go on home and have some continuity into their life.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and I'm always proud to have my lovely bride with me on the show, Miss Fran Gray. And we're here again about Alzheimer's Tennessee. And it's time to have a little bit more fun, isn't it?
It always is time to have fun, John. Thank you for allowing us to be here and to talk about yet another event to wind up our summer events. We are very happy to announce and invite our friends here in the community to come over to a special event on July 31st. On that date, we're going to have our own version of the Summer Olympic Games and a hootenanny.
A hootenanny.
Hoot, hoot.
We're going to have a hootenanny. Yes, we are.
Yes,
and where's
we are.
that going to be?
We are going to have it behind Trinity Lutheran Church. Trinity Lutheran is on the corner of Wilson Avenue and Cedar Lane. I was about to say Bragg, but that's the other Lutheran church. Trinity Lutheran is on the corner of Cedar Lane and Wilson Avenue. And if you go to the back, you'll see a parking lot, and our place will be well marked, but we are going to have a fun evening of games, again, to wrap up all of our Purple Olympics and our trivia night.
Yes,
Teams
ma'am.
have another opportunity to score if they would like to go for the Grand Championship of Alzheimer's Tennessee in Tullahoma.
Purple Olympics.
Right. So we're going to have some old-fashioned games like egg toss and three-legged race and bubblegum blowing contest. And
maybe a lightning bug contest catching. If there's still lightning bugs, we don't know whether they'll still be around by then.
Oh, I hope so. There
Me
should
too.
be
Me too.
on July 31st. So we would invite folks to come out. We are asking for a $5 donation for anyone over 12 years of age. And again, we're going to start around 6 o'clock, go to the back parking lot and watch for orange and purple signs and balloons to indicate where we are located. We have a good buddy named Don Jones, and Don has invited us to come over and enjoy the 4-hole golf course he has. We are going to probably have a putting contest also.
Yeah.
Yes, and then around 7 o'clock, we're going to have some great music provided by our friend who is an award-winning artist, Becky Buller.
Right.
Becky's going to play, and we are inviting all of our friends to come out and bring their instruments, bring a lawn chair, and come and be part of some great music, which will follow Becky's performance.
Right.
She will perform, and then we're going to have a sing-along / summer serenade / hootenanny.
Right.
And Don Jones loves a lot of the songs from the 60s, and we're going to do some classic songs like This Land Is Your Land, a big Pete Seeger hit song from the 60s, some old Peter, Paul, and Mary folk tunes, and again, no matter what your skill is on an instrument, you're welcome to bring it, and we're just going to make a joyful noise. And I guess we'll probably wrap up between 8:30 and 9 o'clock that evening.
Right, and Don is an incredible guitarist and banjo player and everything else, and Don is going to invite some of his friends. You know, Don's a member of the Chet Fest, and Chet Atkins Don was a protege of his, and they were very good friends. Don's known all over the world as one of the best left-handed upside-down guitar players that there is, and you know, you'd be amazed how many people play the guitar that way. But Don is well known. He's played a little around here, not much, but he has a lot of great friends who are going to come and share music with us. And Don's just one of these unique individuals. He lived at the bottom of the hill where Mitch Miller lived, on top of the hill, right outside of New York City. And so New York City, and he learned a lot from Mr. Miller and a lot of the people who hung around up there. And so he's a very, very in-depth student of music in general.
Yes.
And very, very well studied, and just a great guy. And he has taken the property behind the prayer labyrinth and the church, which used to be 4 or 5 feet deep in grass, and turned it into a little golf course. And so it's wonderful, it's smooth. Bring a lawn chair, plenty of room to sit, plenty of room to dance, plenty of places to play games that we want to play. You know, we do more. Alzheimer's Tennessee does more than walk the walk. They talk the talk, walk the walk, and play the games and have fun.
We do.
And so this is what this is about, to wrap that whole season up of our Purple Olympics.
Right, and we, again, would love to have people come out and participate. They can come as individuals, they can come with their teams.
Sure.
And compete yet again. And then we will accumulate all the scores, and then in the early fall, we hope to have a celebration and recognize the winners of all these fun events we've had. And again, we are also excited to be bringing back some of our in-person support groups. We're getting ready to kick off a new season of in-person support groups, and you'll be hearing a lot more about that. And just come out if you have any questions. Give us a call at 931-434-2348 if you have questions about this special event, if you have questions about finding care, finding information for caring for your loved one who may have dementia of some form, please call us. We would be honored to help you.
Because the money that's raised at Alzheimer's Tennessee stays in Tennessee, and the money is used to service folks who need help right here when they need it. And that's what Fran does in her office, serves 6 counties. And we're just going to have a whole lot of fun and share with each other. A lot of the information and groups have been online during the COVID year and year and a half, however long it's been. And like everything else, it's opening back up where people can get together face to face again and share and care for one another in the way that only another human being live can share with you. And one who makes that happen around this area right here, Miss Fran at Alzheimer's Tennessee. And we appreciate
you, John.
you.
Thank you again. Y'all come out and see us right here in T-Town on July 31st, starting at 6 o'clock. If you want to bring your jar, maybe it's your lucky jar to put your lightning bugs in, bring it with you. We'll have some available too. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Good way to wrap up our summer.
That's right. And if you think you hear something that sounds like a flock of owls coming over, just realize it's the Hoot Nanny on the 31st for Alzheimer's Tennessee. Thanks, dear.
Thank you, honey.
We'll be back after these messages. hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat, you know? They do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the paint works at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Ladies and gentlemen, playing a waltz, which reminds me of South Jackson's going to have a dance next week on the lawn at South Jackson. Greg Gressel, what are you doing here?
Oh, thought I'd come a little bit and talk about that.
Greg is our chairman of the board there at South Jackson, and tell them a little bit about what we're doing.
Yeah, next Thursday the 22nd, we're going to have our ice cream social, and it's going to be a little grander event even than in the past. We've had our Midsummer Night Swing ice cream social for years now, many years. And this one's going to be Circe's Summer Soiree. This is going to be in honor and memory of Circe Couch Hopkins, who passed not too long ago, and was a huge supporter of the center.
Yes, she was.
A big part of things, started our first alumni group there, and so there's a lot of different things that's kind of went into that. And so we're going to break it out 1940s style, and we're just going to have
because she was a big dancer in the 40s. She loved the music.
In the 40s, loves the music of the 40s, and so we're going to kind of pull out all the stops and have a great time on the front patio, the patio stage there at South Jackson outside. And we've got a dance instructor coming at 6:30.
Right, Tim Taylor, and he is fabulous. I don't know if you got to see him on our show the other day, but he has won awards all around the state and other places, and he's going to teach swing for 30 minutes, 6:30. And the band will start playing at 7 o'clock. It's probably the least expensive thing you'll ever go to. It's $10 for adults, $5 for
children.
Up to what?
I don't know exactly, but probably up to that 16, 18-year-old. We're just wanting this to be a family event too. Even if you don't want to dance, but you want to come hear great music and have ice cream on the lawn and see some fun stuff.
Where are we getting ice cream from? Do you know?
The ice cream will be provided. It's part of the ticket.
Right.
And so we'll have the ice cream there available for them, and concessions, lots of other things happening as well. So they'll have.
And on top of what we're doing, we have some guest soloists. One of which is Greg Gressel. He's going to be. Who are you going to be?
Julie Wilson.
Julie Wilson. Dooley, I'm sorry. I need for Ron to tell us a little bit about Dooley Wilson.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the story for this particular song, as time goes by, it was originally written for a Broadway musical in 1931. In 1942, they decided to use it in Casablanca. Well, they didn't use the entire tune. There's a big introductory section to it that sets it up, that laments the fast pace of life and the way things are going at the time. Even a quick mention for Albert Einstein and his new theories, which were still fresh at that point. But then it turns and comes back to this, but there's always this love thing, and love is always the same. So as time goes by, is where that came from. Now the interesting thing is, in 1931, Rudy Valley did a solo on it and released it as a record, and it was a #1 hit. In 1942, there was a musician strike. So Dooley Wilson didn't get to record his. RCA re-released the Rudy Valley version, and it went to #1 again.
But Dooley Wilson is in there, and so
he did it in the movie.
We're kind of representing him with this song.
He is the one that is recognized for this particular
play it again,
song.
Sam.
Actually, the quote's wrong, but we'll do that some other time.
You must remember this. A kiss is just a kiss. A sigh is just a sigh. The fundamental things apply as time goes by. And when two lovers woo, they still say, I love you. On that you can rely. No matter what the future brings as time goes by. Moonlight and love songs, never out of date. Hearts full of passion, jealousy and hate. Woman needs man, man must have his mate that no one can deny. It's still the same old story, a fight for love and glory, a case of do or die. The world welcome lovers as time goes by. Still the same old story, fight for love and glory, a case of do or die. The world will always welcome lovers as time goes by, as time goes by. The world will always welcome lovers as time goes by.
Great job. I love it. This time goes by. Now, I think that quote was, play it, Sam.
Play it.
Yeah, no play
Sam.
it again.
No Sam.
Oh, no Sam?
No Sam at all. It's just play it.
Play it. Okay. Why do I
Yeah, the full quote. You have to. This is the second time through. He's in the apartment alone with Sam himself, and Sam had already played it for Isa.
Right.
And his direct quote was, "If she can stand it, I can. Play it."
Okay. All right. That's good. Anyway, let's talk about the social just a little bit more. You need to bring your chairs.
Yes, bring chairs,
bring a table
blankets.
if you want to.
Yeah.
Bring blankets, bring what you want to drink, what you want to eat. You can have your dinner there. It's fine.
You can have dinner there, but we're going to be selling drink and food and
that's
all of
right.
that kind
Okay.
of stuff.
Oh,
So
we're going to sell more food than ice cream?
we will. We'll have
Fabulous.
concessions there. And,
All right, I should have asked questions.
And we'll provide all of that, and you can come and just enjoy the music. And it's a little later, so you probably already had dinner. So come have a snack with us.
Come and have a snack with us. We have
One other thing to remember there is the dance contest.
Oh yeah, the dance contest. I forgot to mention that. We're going to have a dance contest on swing, foxtrot, and cha-cha. And those people, whoever wins the contest gets a prize. Mr. Tim Taylor will be the one that judges. He will not know you, so he won't be prejudiced. He'll just do whoever's best. And that should be fun. We also have the Rockettes coming to, and I understand that Miss Cersei had told her daughter that the Rockettes performed at the base back in the day and during World War II. And there's such a history here in Tullahoma of what went on in those days. And we're looking forward. The South Jackson Street Band, Ron plays guitar with us, and we're looking forward to supporting Sonobia McGee. She's doing a number. Amy Beckstead. We have the Andrews Sisters. We have
Doreen Schultz.
Doreen doing Rosie the Riveter.
Yes.
She's always cute. Doreen does a great job. And Jerry Anderson will do in Frank Sinatra, and of course Greg, and whatever else happens. We have some great dance numbers, and they're not all from the 40s. They're mostly from that period, but we've thrown in a few other pieces for people. Anything you want to add, Greg?
Lots of fun surprises you're going to want to come out and see. There's lots of things in the works, so it'll be a little bit more than our normal ice cream social. So, definitely want to come out and celebrate and celebrate Miss Cersei
and the people that grew up in that period. And you know, I was just a kid, but I remember a lot of stuff. I was hanging around the woods in Beech Grove with troops all over the place doing maneuvers. So I have a big memory of that period of time. Do we need to mention the country show real quick?
Yeah, the country show. It's coming up in August. the dates? Do you
The
have
12,
those?
13, 14, maybe
12.
right in that period.
12, 13, 14, I believe that
I
is.
think
It's
that's it.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right, it's going to be a big show this year.
Tickets
and,
are on sale. You
already?
can go online, purchase tickets. You can call the office if necessary. The information is there on the screen
And
for
we'll
both
be back
of
with
those.
a lot of stuff about the country show before it happens.
Absolutely.
And I'm excited that South Jackson is wide open. We've
We
got
are.
a play going on right now that is coming up another weekend.
We have another
this
weekend of Little Mermaid. That is this weekend. The last weekend was a phenomenal opening weekend. Super excited about that, and we believe we could sell out the house this coming weekend. So get your tickets online.
It's a great
as soon as
show,
possible.
and your
So-
kids would love it, your grandkids would love it, your grandma would love it. I love it. Well, I think we're going to take it out with another song. What are you going
All
to
right.
play, Ron?
This is a lovely little French tune, C'est bon.
C'est bon.
The translation is "It is good." It was written in 1947 by Henri Bataille. I believe it's pronounced Henri, but I took Spanish, not French.
Okay.
Now, the interesting thing here is I recorded this song on my YouTube channel about a year ago and then posted it to Facebook. Within an hour of posting it to Facebook, I heard from Oliver Bataille,
That is awesome.
Henri's grandson.
I know, that is wonderful.
He confirmed that the story is true. It was written in Nice during a lingerie show. And he also added that they were premiering the Scandals bras at the time. So this one then is for Henri and Oliver.
All right, thank you. Back with something else. Who knows?
What does caring look like? This is what caring looks like.
This is setting an example for others.
This is rising to the challenge.
This is doing what works.
This is doing my part.
This is doing your part.
Each of us individually.
Acting as one. Keeping your distance, no matter how awkward it may seem.
This is wearing a mask.
Over your nose and mouth.
Like we are. Keeping our distance.
Each wearing masks.
Not under your chin.
Not above your head.
Not in your hand, but over your nose and mouth.
This is listening to the expert. If you'll just
Wear one of these.
Caring makes community.
And this is what caring looks like.
Until COVID-19 is no longer a threat.
Until COVID-19 is no longer a threat.
Until COVID-19 is no longer a threat.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
The food at Parkview, well, I haven't had a bad meal there yet.
The food at Parkview is absolutely scrumptious. I mean, it is really good. It's just like home cooking.
And then there are the cookies. Oh my, they bake cookies every day, and they are super.
The food is truly incredible, and it's like being on a cruise ship.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, one of the fun things that we do around here is bring you some new information about local things going on. And we had a meeting recently about Tullahoma 2020, the comprehensive plan that's going to take us into the future. And one of the important things, I think, as a business person and also as a citizen that you know is about the businesses here in town. And understand what we have to offer, to where if you're a business person and a stranger walks in and they're looking for something in particular, if it's not in your store, know where to send them around town here to find these items. Well, Philip and I went to the Avenues downtown and talked to a couple of new business owners, Zubair, and he has the bread company down there, and then there's a young lady who's also in the same shop, sells soft pretzels. Her dad was part of that business in New York City for years, and it was exciting, enjoyable to find out about the new products and the new things that we have here in Tullahoma. So let's go to that video right now from the Downtown Avenues.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, John Gray here in Downtown Avenues, downtown Tullahoma, with my friend Zubair in the Sonoma Bread Company, right? Bread Company?
Yes.
All right. Tell us what you've got going on down here, Zubair.
So it's a fresh, locally sourced soup, salad, signature sandwiches, and panini place here in Downtown Avenues, along with our friends, Pretzel Shop with Mary Allen and Christie's Cheesecakery.
Cheesecakery. So we've got cheese. You can come in, you can get bread. Now, are you?
We're not selling loaves.
The bread, not selling loaf bread yet.
Not selling loaf bread yet, but we do all our sandwiches and paninis on freshly baked, locally sourced sourdough bread.
Okay.
And they're baked by Lewis Brothers out of Murfreesboro.
Okay. Very good. And so what about your hours here?
We're open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 3 p.m.
11 to 3?
Correct.
So you're, what's that, 4 hours?
But yes, we're just doing lunch right now at this point.
Until you get things under control.
That is correct.
What about side items?
For side items, we have assorted chips, a Greek pasta salad, and also a red potato salad, and then a few other assortments on the chips variety.
Okay, so I know you are a chef yourself. I've been fortunate enough to taste many of his creations, and I'm sure you'll slide something a little bit different in from time to time, like some salsas or some type of ingredient or something like that to make this. This is a signature place.
Correct. Yes.
This is not something you're going to go and find in other towns because it has you as the touching hand on these things.
All the ingredients and the recipes are unique from me.
And that's important.
On the menu.
And that's important.
Yes. And then speaking of doing other things, yes, we'll be doing weekly specials, which will have a different flair and then also certain items from different regions of Pan Pacific, where I grew up. So that'd be interesting, and we'll be rolling those out soon.
So this is the Sonoma Bread Company. It's inside of the avenues downtown. You walk through the double front doors, come back and turn to the left, and there's an open area with some seating out in front, and you walk in and you will be surprised, and so will your taste buds be surprised with what goes on down here. And we just want to thank you for investing your time and your money in Tullahoma, Tennessee, and particularly downtown Tullahoma, Tennessee,
Well,
where it's
appreciate that.
happening. You know, it's happening downtown. We're revitalizing this whole area down here, and there's a whole lot of things on the planning table right now for downtown that everybody will be excited about when it happens. There's going to be some major changes made.
Correct.
And it's going to be worth keeping an eye on. Drive through every now and then, stop at one of our locations around here and find something to eat, drink, listen to some music, play a game or two, whatever it is that they have to offer. Come in and see Zubair at the Bread Company, and the lovely lady over there with, look at those. She's pulling some out. Philip, go over there and get a look at that. Those are soft pretzels, fresh made every day. If you want it fresh, if you want it different, something that's not franchised out of a chicken store, you come right here downtown Tullahoma to the Bread Company and see my friend Zubair here, and I guarantee you'll be happy with the results of what you find.
Well, thank you, John.
We're welcome.
Appreciate
And
it.
thank you for being here and doing what you do. All right.
Partners for Healing provides medical care to the working uninsured of Coffee, Franklin, and Moore counties. We are in Tullahoma from 8 to 5, Monday through Thursdays, and in Manchester on Fridays from 8 to 12. We provide primary medical care and offer an in-house disease management program.
My name is Rosie Mitchell, and I would just like to say I am blessed to have partners in my life.
Please call 455-5014 for more information. Thank you for being one of our Partners for Healing.
Hello, this is Janie Price. When my husband Ray Price would tour across the country, his favorite place to dine was Cracker Barrel Old Country Store locations. His favorite thing to order was the Uncle Herschel.
And the beauty of it all is forever, you'll be holding me to.
I miss Ray dearly, and I'm so proud that his last album, Beauty Is the Final Session, is available at his favorite restaurant.
A love affair to remember.
The project includes a duet with Martina McBride and harmony vocals from Vince Gill. Ray believed this to be the best recording he had ever made.
Oh, I wish I was 18 again.
I think you'll agree when you pick up your copy of Beauty Is the Final Sessions at a Cracker Barrel Old Country Store location near you or at crackerbarrel.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
morning, everybody. All you wonderful people in TV land, thank you for that introduction, John, and our camera ladies, good morning to all y'all, and it's a beautiful day. And you know, one of the parts of history that's part of everybody's life and has been forever and still continues to be, and that is the grocery stores in Tullahoma. Grocery stores. I was raised in a grocery store, cut my baby teeth on a potato hamper when I was growing up. But you know, in the 100 block of North Atlantic and the 100 block of West Lincoln and the 2 blocks that join them both ways, 20 years ago, you could get anything you need in the way of groceries, your car repairs, your gasoline, clothes, dime stores, hardware stores, the whole works. And now with the changing of time and growth and progress, why, of course, people walked all the time back then, and they would get their goods right downtown. And the mobile society that we live in today, people go everywhere in their cars to shop or for pleasure or for whatever. But back to groceries. Some people thought the first Kroger store was over where the Dollar General store is on South Atlantic Street. But the truth of the matter is the first Kroger store was located where the Tennessee Shoe Repair is on Atlantic, 100 block of North Atlantic Street. And next door to it was, on the north side, was H.G. Hill. And toward the bank was where Daddy Billy's is located now, was W.J. Couch and Company. And that was one of the earliest grocery stores downtown in Tullahoma. Mr. Moat Ross had a grocery store over on Lincoln Street. Bill Jones later had one on Lincoln and South Jackson Street. One of the first drive-in grocery stores was the S.W. Stone's store on Wilson Avenue. I believe it was called the Minute Saver. And Speedy Sack or Speedy's was Bill Tips over on West Lincoln Street. And then they had little bitty grocery stores like Marvin Sawyer's store on Hogan Street, where the used to be a drugstore on that location. But they made a great contribution to Tullahoma. Early grocery stores had delivery service and had credit. But now, you know, in our society today, almost everything that we buy is pre-packaged, or you got to pay for it before you get it. You know, this time of year traditionally has been the time of year when crystallized fruit came to the grocery stores for ladies to make fruit cakes for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And all that fruit came in big pine boxes wrapped in wax paper. And the cherries and the pineapple and the apples and all that sort of thing came that way. But now everything is pre-packaged. We weighed up corn, and we weighed up flour and meal and beans and the whole works, potatoes. But now all of it is pre-packaged. Let me quickly give you, if you are old enough to remember, that we ground and roasted our own coffee at Daddy Billy's grocery store and sold it for 10 cents a pound and 3 pounds for a quarter. The potatoes were a 20-pound bag for a quarter, and sorghum was 50 cents a gallon. Veal chops, 15 cents a pound. Let's see. You know, one of the highest priced products today is Post Toasties and cereal, but in 1934 you could get 2 big boxes of cereal for a quarter. Those were good days, you know, but of course money has changed a whole lot. And just get real hungry, go to the grocery store and get your load of groceries and enjoy them. And this is not the end of the story because there's a whole lot more to come. We thank you for watching, and we'll be seeing you next week with a whole lot more. Thank you, and everybody have a good day.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Hey, Peg, we're back, and we've got about a minute left, and we had all kinds of good information on the show today.
Yes, we did. We had a great group in today, and I hope everybody will remember that we've still got Little Mermaid going on at South Jackson Civic Center this weekend. Great show. And then we have the ice cream social on Thursday, the 22nd.
Lemonade sale for Isaiah
Oh, yeah,
House.
and they're doing such a great job.
And Julia's back. Thank you, Julia.
We're so glad to see her.
Our camera girl. And then we also have next weekend is the Hootenanny at Don Jones Golf Course behind Trinity Lutheran Church for Alzheimer's Tennessee, and there will be all kinds of music out there. Becky Buller's going to highlight it.
Is she going to play out there? Great.
And Don, who is an exceptional guitar player, world renowned. There'll be games. There'll be lightning bug catching and egg tossing and no telling what we'll be doing.
That'll be fun.
But it's a party, it's fun, and it raises money for Alzheimer's Tennessee. And I think we'll probably have a food truck out there. Bring your lawn chairs, your cooler, and come on and enjoy the music. It's Hootenanny time in Tullahoma, Tennessee. Folks, we love you. We'll see you next time. Be safe out there and enjoy everything that goes on.